Very hot still, so I'm just gonna have to blow on it for a moment. The flavour of the cardamom and turmeric, I have to say, is very subtle, but it's really nice. Hi everyone, and welcome back to Googie's Kitchen, and if you are new here, then hello and welcome. My name's Alexis, and in today's video, I want to share with you how to make a delicious fragrant prawn quinoa. As I just mentioned, today I want to share with you how to make a really delicious fragrant prawn quinoa. So this recipe is really easy to do, and this makes a delicious lunch, and it also makes a really nice dinner as well. The first thing I've done is I've got a large saucepan, and I'm going to put this onto a high heat on my hob, and I'm going to add oil to the base of this pan, and I'm going to leave this pan to heat up. The pan is getting nice and hot, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in my spring onions. So in the original recipe this serves 4, but I'm actually making it for just myself today. So in the original recipe I said 8 spring onions, but I'm actually only using 2. And I'm just going to pop those into the base of my pan like so. And I'm going to fry these spring onions until they start to soften. These spring onions have started to soften, and also in the original recipe I said to use 1 red pepper. Well, I don't have a red pepper today, but if I was going to use one, I'd put one in now, and I would fry it until it starts to soften as well. Red peppers do take a little while to soften, so if you are using a red pepper, then please try to persevere. You will get there eventually, I promise. And I've just turned the heat down a little bit because it was getting slightly too hot. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in half a grated courgette into my saucepan as well. And I only need to fry this for about 30 seconds or so. The reason I like to grate the courgettes and carrots is because they tend to cook a lot quicker when they're grated. So I've just grated it, and I just need about 30 seconds or so just to heat it through. That's perfect. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in my quinoa. So in this sieve here I have about 75 grams of quinoa. In the original recipe I said 300 because that serves 4. And I've washed the quinoa through the sieve, over the sink obviously. Don't wash it anywhere else, you will get water all over your feet. And now I'm just going to fry this quinoa for about 30 seconds to a minute. Again, I just want the quinoa to heat through, so I'm just going to fry this now. And then to that I am going to add my spices. So I have about a teaspoon, probably half a teaspoon I'd say for this, and about 2 cardamom pods that I've just cracked between my teeth, and then I've just taken out the seeds of the cardamom pods. So I've got 2 cardamom pod seeds, and I've got half a teaspoon of turmeric going in there, and I am just going to fry that with the quinoa and the other ingredients, and that was the fragrant part of the meal. And now I'm going to add chicken stock to cook the quinoa. So I'm going to add enough chicken stock to cover it, and then I want about 2 centimetres above that chicken stock. And what I like to do is just turn the spoon upside down, and just to see if it I think there's a little bit too little in there, so I'm just going to add a bit of water to that. I'll try again. Yep, that's perfect now. So I'm just going to turn the heat back up on this, and I'm going to bring it to the boil, and while it's coming to the boil I'm going to add some tamari. So in the original recipe I said about 2 tablespoons, but I think I'm just going to use a tablespoon. Tamari, for those of you that don't know, is a fermented soya sauce. It is fermented slightly longer, and it's also gluten-free. I have a slight gluten intolerance, which is why I always like to use gluten-free products where I can. And I'm just going to turn the, I think that's going to come to the boil. I can't find my lid. Where did I put my lid? I'm going to use this one. don't know where the lid went for this pan. I'm going to put the lid on, and I'm going to, as I said, I'm just going to leave this to come to the boil. The quinoa mixture in here has come to the boil, so I'm just going to turn the heat down. I am going to open the lid just to add a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. I wouldn't normally advise this even. It's just I needed to add the salt and the pepper to this. I'm just going to pop the lid back on, and I'm going to leave this to simmer until all of the liquid has disappeared, and that will mean that the quinoa honestly is cooked perfectly. This is the best way I've found to cook quinoa. If you cook it and drain it, I find that it gets a bit too soggy and a bit not very nice. But if you cook it this way and let the liquid disappear, it tastes delicious, I promise you. So yes, I'm just going to leave this to cook until all of the liquid has disappeared. The quinoa is almost done, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in the prawns now. So I've got about 125 grams of prawns. These are uncooked prawns, so I'm just going to let them cook in the quinoa while I keep mixing this. It should take around 2 to 4 minutes for these prawns to cook. And then I'm going to put the lid back on for a little while. Now you don't want to overcook prawns, because what happens is they tend to go a bit rubbery, and nobody likes a rubbery prawn, as I always say. So I'm going to just let these cook in here now, and then I'll put the lid on, and hopefully the liquid in the bottom of the pan will be all soaked up by the quinoa and the prawns as well. The prawns have cooked and the liquid has been soaked up by the quinoa, so I can tell the prawns have cooked because they've got a lovely pink colour. And when I pull the spoon back in the saucepan, there is no liquid in the bottom there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to turn the heat off this pan, and I am going to add in 1 handful of chopped coriander as well. So I'm just going to add that in, and I'm going to let that wilt down in the pan like so. You could add a bit of spinach to this if you wanted to, or maybe even some cooked green beans if you fancied some greens to go with this dish as well. The coriander really complements the turmeric and the cardamom pods, so that's why I like to use it. And that basically is my lunch done. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer this to a dish, and I will try it and let you know how it tastes. But oh my god, it smells so good right now. I've put this into a bowl, so I'm going to try it a little bit and let you know how it tastes. But oh my god, it smells so good right now. It's very hot still, so I'm just going to have to blow on it for a moment. The flavour of the cardamom and turmeric, I have to say, is very subtle, but it's really nice. Actually, I've just got a hit of that at the back of my throat as it went down. Oh, that's lovely, that is. Yes, so that is my lunch for today, and I'm really looking forward to this. It is delicious. That's how you make my delicious fragrant prawn quinoa, and that recipe I will link in the description box below. As I mentioned earlier, I'm going to be having this for my lunch today, and it smells and tastes so good, I can't wait. So for now, that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to give me a big thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. And please feel free to leave any comments below. And please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. See you all soon.